Talking about us, Jason Aldean on AM Minnesota Today, or as we go into AM Minnesota Today. AM Minnesota Today, we're going to talk about a special fund drive coming up for South Central College. If you believe that education opens doors for everyone, builds successful futures, you'll want to stay in tune here the next half hour. Shelly Rockman is the South Central Foundation. What's your title, Shelly?
Executive Director.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. Shelly is the Executive Director, and you've been with South Central College Foundation for?
It'll be 14 years this spring.
14 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. And Stephen Pribyl is the CEO of District 1 Hospital. How long have you been at the hospital?
It's now over 5 years, Corey.
Is it really?
Yep.
Seems like just yesterday.
Well, I came in late 2010.
And you've seen a lot in those 5 years.
We've seen a lot of change, good change, positive change.
You know, they're part of a lineup.
That's correct.
And that's going well?
It's going very well. It's going very well.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Isn't it, Shelly?
It is.
We need quality health care here in Faribault.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had it. And of course, South Central College had a great working relationship because in the early years, I know, the nursing program worked very closely with the local hospital.
That's right. As well as the medical lab technician program.
I don't know why I'm not hearing anything here, John. Dave Farrell is a brain expert. He's scheduled to be with us on Wednesday. We had to move the show before. Hopefully we don't have to move it again. But, you know, two heads are better than one. Carter Martin is the Executive Director of the Paradise Center for the Arts. And Rice County Attorney John Fossum. John didn't get that. John Fossum is the Rice County Attorney. He's with us for our monthly visit on Friday. Well, Shelly, we're here to talk about a special event coming up, right?
That's right, Gordy. The foundation at South Central College, in cooperation with our sister foundation on the North Mankato campus, is having an annual online auction to raise more money for scholarships to supplement what we're doing through our annual fund drive.
Fantastic. And when you got asked to do this, what did you think, Stephen?
To serve as the chair of the annual fund drive,
right.
It brought back some good memories, and let me explain if I can.
Sure.
Shelley approached me, and Dr. Parker has talked to me about chairing the fund drive this year, and I got to thinking about my first connection with South Central College. It really was through my mother, who in the late 60s, early 70s, drove from Owatonna a couple nights a week to get her secretarial certificate from then Faribault Tech. And I was telling Shelley just this morning how I was able to take the annual fund drive brochure, and Shelley got me a copy of her graduation program, and I took it to my mother, who's now approaching 92. So my connection with South Central College goes back a long time, and it says something about the value of education and education in the local community. It's a great, great asset.
Yeah, it does lift people too, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm sure your mom was able to get that certificate and have a better life because of it.
Absolutely. She went on to some great jobs through the years, and I get a kick out of it because she quit working at the age of 81. And it's partly because she enjoyed her work, but she had a great life, and she continues to do well.
Yeah, I'm blessed with good health then.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I take it. The fact that you're CEO of District 1 doesn't have anything to do with the good health of your mom, does
well, she hasn't taken advantage of that, if that's what you mean. She lives up in the cities right now, but she's getting good care up there.
Okay, well, that's terrific. We're going to visit more about the fund drive. They got many items, and I'm sure Shelley will run down some of those, tell you more about the scholarship program and how people can apply for scholarships. I think the deadline I saw online was this Friday or something like that, but we'll talk to Shelley about that when AM Minnesota continues. But we need to get our opening market report, or Jerry will kick me out the door. Foundation and Stephen Pribyl, who is the drive chair of this year's Foundation Drive. They're going to have a annual fund drive coming up here. That starts very, very soon, and we'll get all the details today on the show. We appreciate you both coming in today. Thanks.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very, very much. And thanks for all you do there at South Central, Shelley. This is awesome.
Well, thank you, Bertie.
Well, to have the school right here in Faribault, I think, is just awesome.
Well, it really is, and I don't know if everybody recognizes that for all these years now, over 50 years, South Central College has had a presence in this community, and it's had different names, but now I think we're settled with South Central for the very distant future. Each year, several hundred Faribault residents attend South Central College, and they're working toward a certificate or a diploma or a degree. And since we're community and technical now, many of those students are transferring with their 2-year AA onto a 4-year institution. So it really is a great opportunity to get started if you want a 4-year degree, or to do a 2-year or 1-year technical degree and improve your opportunities that are out there for you, because there are lots of manufacturers who are screaming for employees, trained employees, and we've got manufacturing programs on campus. And the construction industry is screaming for workers, and we have carpentry, which is ready to start up in the fall. Some students enrolled in that already, but still room for more. So it really is an asset to the entire region.
We should probably, I got a little ahead of myself here, explain what the foundation is. I think most people probably know, but there may be some people tuned in that don't.
Correct. The foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so we're a charity like many other worthy charities in the community, and we exist solely to support students at South Central College and programs. So scholarships and programs is what we do. We do it very well thanks to lots of volunteer help. So I'm part-time, and this year we have 45 volunteers. Some are board members, some are community volunteers, all of them working to raise $200,000 for our goal, which is our goal this year.
Is that up from last year?
That is the same goal we had last year, and we came pretty close to it.
Okay.
Had an increase in funds raised, but didn't make a big stretch goal that we had set, so we're working on that for a second year now. So we raised $187,000 last year.
So that's going to be your fund drive chair's responsibility, right, to get to that $200,000 goal?
He's our main helper, yep, our point person.
Are you confident that we can do that?
Well, with the involvement of the community and participation and folks coming online with the auction, I'm very, very optimistic that we can hit that goal. The part I play is maybe leading a couple conversations and being a face that's out in the community and trying to encourage people. But it takes a group of people to make our goal, and with Shelly's leadership and others, the volunteers, I'm confident we will do that.
I think I touched on it earlier, but this is a perfect choice because of the relationship that the hospital has had with the college for so many years with their terrific nursing program at South Central.
That's what we thought.
Well, and it's not, it's kind of interesting. When you ask someone who works at the hospital, you usually get back, well, doctors and nurses. But we have a full range of technical skills, lab technicians, administrative people, our engineers, and so on. So it's not exclusive to nursing.
Right.
That folks attending South Central College are setting themselves up for a career in a wide range of vocations that include healthcare.
Yeah, well, we just had Bob Cochran on this show last week. He's worked at the hospital for many years, working in your maintenance department.
That's right. That's right.
So you're right. You're like a little city up there.
It is, and it takes and a lot of different skill sets, a lot of different technical skill sets. And again, what South Central College brings to the table is that opportunity, particularly for folks in the immediate area, to get a good kickstart on their education after high school.
I'm sure you have an IT department, for example.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is there an IT program at South Central? I don't remember.
Not anymore. There was when I started.
Okay.
But there remains a program on the North Mankato campus.
Ah, yes. And that is part of South Central. Of course, you have the two different campuses. But I just want to emphasize here, correct me if I'm wrong, Shelly, this fundraiser is Faribault only.
Correct. Because we are completely separate from our sister foundation in North Mankato. They were established as we were many, many years ago. Our Faribault Campus Foundation was founded in 1983, and we have remained separate because we feel we are most effective in serving our respective campuses in that way. So our board members are local folks who believe in education and want to help support students and programs, and likewise in North Mankato.
Did we beat Mankato in the fund drive last year?
No.
Well,
they're
quite a
much
bit bigger than we are.
They're much larger and have more FTEs working and more volunteers in their base. But I will say we are very proud that for many years, though we are 20% of the SCC student population on our Faribault campus, the foundation has been giving a third of the scholarships that SCC gives overall. So our promotional materials say we give close to $300,000 in scholarships, and last year $109,000 of that came from the Faribault Campus Foundation for our Faribault campus students.
Now this might be a bizarre question, but see the look I got. But if I'm a student that applies for a scholarship, but you don't offer the program on the Faribault campus, but you do on the North Mankato campus, am I eligible through this to get that scholarship? You understand what I'm asking?
You would apply to the North Mankato Campus Foundation through the exact same scholarship application process. You just check on the application if you're a Faribault student or a North Mankato student, and then you'd be given consideration through their process.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
We have the online auction coming up, so does Steve ring the bell, or how does that work? You know when it starts?
Yeah, 8 a.m. on Friday morning he'll be ringing a bell somewhere.
Kind of like the stock market exchange and things.
Yeah, let's think about that.
You could put them on YouTube and
Sure.
yeah,
Good
live,
idea.
ringing.
I'm not sure, well, I was going to say, I'm not sure that just by me ringing the bell will make the difference, but I think what will make the difference is people going online and looking at the wide range of opportunities to, in fact, bid on something.
Right, but if I remember right, the online auction works with both campuses, right?
Correct. So we are putting items out there that have been donated to the Faribault Campus Foundation and likewise in North Mankato, and a donor can, or a bidder can know whose item it is by looking at where they pick up the item, because it always says winning bidder is responsible to pick up their item at such and such a location. However, if you're in Faribault and you buy something that has been put on the auction by North Mankato, using our staff and folks who go back and forth pretty much every day, someone's traveling, we would do everything we can to get your item over here to Faribault campus so you can pick it up, and they do the same, likewise in North Mankato. So we really are working cooperatively to get as many people bidding as we can, get the prices up there so we can raise money for students, and then we do whatever we can to make it easy for you to get your items that you've won.
The online auction begins this Friday. This Friday, runs through March 1st.
That's correct. So if you were to go out and look at the site right now, you'd see we have about 78 items loaded. I checked this morning. 78 items out there that you can browse. We'll be adding more because when this thing is going, we'll be up around 200 items total. We have a few days yet this week to be adding. And then we do add items during the auction as well. As donations come in, it's called publishing. You can publish a new item, and there's a special section on the left-hand side of the screen that says new items, and you can click on that and just see, oh, what's been loaded recently that I didn't know about, and it's a fun way to just keep on top of stuff and see what you just can't live without.
This is just a portion of the drive, right, Stephen?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. This is one that gets a lot of interest, of course, but then we also have our drive relative appeal to individuals and organizations within the community. Absolutely, and we've got, as Shelly alluded to, a group of volunteers that have been reaching out to individuals and organizations seeking their pledge or their commitment to, in fact, contribute to the fund.
So you'll be talking to businesses, for example, and telling them why it's a good idea to give to South Central.
Which is not at all a hard sell. I mean, it's and I've made several phone calls, and the conversation usually goes something like this, and I introduce myself, and I say I'm calling on behalf of South Central College Foundation, and we're looking to increase the funds available to provide opportunities for students or people in the area. And isn't education a great thing to have in the local community? And it's kind of one of those people have a hard time saying no to. They always, most of my calls was, where do I sign up?
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer, really. Don't you think, Shelly?
Oh, of course, but I'm very biased.
No, I understand that. I understand that you'd be a little biased on this, but I do think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, and we hear so many great success stories about, you know, where our graduates have gone. And I just reached out to our first two presidential scholars from 2005, 2007, back then, who both have graduated from college and are working and very happy in their careers, and who credit South Central College for their start, because as presidential scholars they came right out of high school and they had 2 years of free tuition. And one did an AA degree and went on to become an attorney. The other did the accounting degree and then transferred out to Southwest State to get the 4-year. So both really great, you know, faribault kids. Now they're grown up and have gotten married and started families and things, and so great success stories. And
Are they
very
living
proud
in
of
our
them.
community now too?
Well, actually, no. They've relocated for job opportunities, but still have family in town.
Okay, that's fantastic. So the event again begins online February 19th. Starts at a certain time. I mean, when can I go on? And I can look now, you said. Browse the items.
Yep, 8 a.m. that morning, and it ends at midnight. No, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. It ends at 8 p.m. on March 1st.
Okay.
So get 8 o'clock in your head, and then you should be good. So that's when the bidding closes, is that time in the evening on March 1st.
Will I be notified if I have a winning bid, or do I have to go back online to find out?
Well, it's very sophisticated, which makes it very nice and great for fundraising. But you'll get when you bid, you're going to get an email saying
Sure.
you're the high bidder, and then if someone outbids you, you get an email saying you've been outbid. So you really, unless you have really great willpower, you're going to be driven to get back on that site and just see how much more you have to bid if you want to be in the lead. And this Bidding for Good is a national site. Many auctions going on at any given time for all kinds of different charities. So if you go to biddingforgood.com/SCC, it takes you right to our site. If you just go to biddingforgood.com, you're going to see the main homepage and all the different categories and all the different things, and you might have to do a little searching to find South Central College in there. But the /SCC takes you right to our homepage.
Okay, sounds easy. I remember it's pretty easily navigable. I think I did it a year ago.
Yeah, I think it is. We don't have haven't gotten any complaints about
Right.
it. And if you have a question about an item, you can click a button, and it sends an email saying this person has a question about this item, and you see their question, and then you can respond. And sometimes some of them, like the experiences that we have, people will ask a question about that. Last year we were selling the cabin that the South Central College carpentry students had built, and several people asked questions about dimensions and
Sure.
stuff like that got a little more in depth than what we had already provided on the site. But it's a very, I think, user-friendly site, and for me as one of the auction managers, a very friendly site. It's easy to load items and get pictures in there and all that kind of stuff.
That's right. I forgot to mention about the pictures. Obviously, there are pictures of the items. Can you give us an example? By the way, Shelly Rockman is with us. She is the executive director of the South Central College Pribyl Campus Foundation, and Stephen Pribyl is District 1 Hospital CEO, but he's the drive chair of this year's Foundation Fund Drive. I love your theme.
Well, thank you.
I do. Giving builds futures.
The college has used the theme choices, value, opportunities for a couple of years, and just looking at that and wanting to complement that in some way, the committee came up with Giving Builds Futures, which I think is a great tie.
It's perfect. I think it says it all in 3 words. Don't you, Stephen?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's about paying it forward in many ways. For those of us that have had opportunities for education. It's our chance to give back to our community and give back to the folks that aspire through for furthering their education.
So, can you highlight some of the items on the
Well, of course.
on the auction block?
We have a lot of new restaurant gift cards, which is kind of fun. Some places in town, some places out of town. We have a brew experience at F-Town Brewery, which is a new item for us. We have the airplane ride in the open cockpit biplane from the David and David Bates family, father and son team there that restored a plane. We have some tickets for the sporting events, Twins and Minnesota Wild. We have lots of what I just consider interesting items. Some legal services from a couple local attorneys, Debbie Corman and Gary Vogel. If you don't have your things in order, this is a great opportunity to bid on their services, and you're helping students while you do that. A nice throw from the Faribault Woolen Mill, red and black buffalo check, which would match what you're wearing today, Gordy.
Wow.
Some other interesting gift cards for gas and for jewelry. Chappie Jewelry is a new item this year. Some memberships for the fitness clubs in town. So just a nice variety and many different price points. You know, $20 gift certificate up to, you know, the airplane ride and the brew experience. I mean, those could be much more expensive, our higher priced items. And then we have a brand new rustic cabin retreat where you can sleep overnight in a very rustic cabin and have your dinner and your breakfast served to you by your hosts. So we're excited about that. That's being provided by a foundation board member. So just lots of fun things. And I just have to mention, if anybody is interested in contributing, last year when I came on the show, when I got back to the office, I had a phone call from the Larson Printing folks, and somebody had heard me on the radio and said, we want to donate some screened t-shirts.
Cool.
20 t-shirts. So they made a package worth $200 and they donated that. So they're doing that again as well. But if anyone's interested in donating items, or if you would like to have your logo on our homepage for our auction, then we would call you an auction sponsor, and you can contact me if you'd like to do that. So far we have one Faribault campus auction sponsor, and that's Innovative Office Solutions. And just another way to support the event and contribute if you're able to. So I can be reached at the college, which is closed today because of the holiday, but the rest of the days I'm there. And that number can be found online through the SEC website, or if you're jotting it down, it's 332-5808, and that takes you right to the foundation office.
Shelly's email is shelly.rockman, R-O-C-K-M-A-N, Shelly with a Y, R-O-C-K-M-A-N, at southcentral.edu, southcentral.edu. Again, boy, I'm looking at your board of directors, and it's a virtual who's who of people right here in Faribault, isn't it?
It is. It is. Lots of folks really committed to this, and for numbers of years, some of our board members have served 6-9 years, some even longer. We have terms, but not term limits.
Yeah.
And I'll just say Mike Ramsey, who's an alumnus of our machining program, has been on the foundation board. We just lost count how many years. Every year he's just there to support what we're doing. And
Probably since you started.
not quite since we started, but shortly after. Yeah, he wasn't on the original board.
Okay.
But yeah, 20 plus.
But I know he is. He gives out great testimonials about South Central.
He does, yes. And you know, he is so supportive. He invites me to come in to a staff meeting every December and talk about South Central College and the scholarship funds that he has started. And his employees can give to the foundation, and then he matches their gifts. So every year we raise thousands of dollars from employees at MRG Tool and Die. It's a really awesome opportunity. And
So you raised $187,000 last year.
yep.
How many scholarships were you able to award?
We had 114 credit-based students, and then we had 12 farmers/farm families who got scholarships. So lots of people.
And that wouldn't happen had you not been able to raise these funds.
Exactly. These annual fund drive funds, as well as the endowments that we hold, we have 30 endowments now, and the interest is used from each of those funds to provide a scholarship every year. And, you know, those two sources combined, it's really awesome.
Yeah. National Signing Day, this is what I saw on your website, is this Thursday.
That's right. This is a new initiative that the college is undertaking, sort of modeled after athletic signings at colleges. So a student interested in a technical career can come and do a signing, and it doesn't completely obligate them to attend SEC, but an opportunity to find out more. And somebody is going to win $1,000. The Gray family has generously provided that scholarship for that day, and we'll just, at the end of the event, we'll do a drawing, and our foundation board president, Rick Miller, who is an employee of the hospital as well, he will do the drawing, and one student will get $1,000 for their tuition this fall.
And again, carpentry is starting up in the fall. We've had the instructor on our AM Minnesota program, and I know he's looking forward to it, but he'd like to have a full class when they start up, and there is a shortage of carpenters these days.
There is. That's what we've heard from the community and the entire region since the program closed, and so now it's been reopened, thank goodness.
And I just note that because National Signing Day coming up on Thursday, you might want to think about that. Well, thanks, Stephen, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it very much, and thanks again, Shelly. We'll look forward to doing some bidding online here starting on